Now, as I was kind of digging and kicking around the internet today and looking for Funko news and things to talk about and things to come on and hang out and chat with you guys and get your opinion, I found this guy. Now, this guy is going to be the Funko Pop Guinness Book World Record or whatever it is that he is. I mean, I didn't even know that there was a world record for the guy who owns the most pops, but apparently that there is a world record for the person who owns the most pops. And I'm going to kind of share the video with y'all, but I'm going to have to jump around a little bit. I mean, because you know how like the whole like monetization, and if I'm not careful, they'll give me a strike. So I'm going to have to play this very strategically in what I do, and I've watched it a few times, so I think that I've watched it enough that I'm going to be able to show you this without having to worry about a whole lot. So this guy is named David something, and I'm just going to pull him up on the full screen, and it should be sharing audio, and that's why I have my headphones in, just in case anyone's questioning. I have my headphones in so that I could hear the audio as well. And let's see what David has to say. Now, David is the Guinness World Book Record holder for the most Funko Pops, right? So I'm hoping that I can hear this with you. Let's see.
In November, Dave was dubbed a world record holder by the Guinness Book of World Records, the most Funko Pops owned by a private collector at 7,095.
Thanks, Hattie.
7,000. Did you hear that? 7,095 pops. How do you have 7,900 pops in your house? Now, I want you to think about that for a minute in perspective. In perspective, I only have about 300 pops, maybe more toward the north end of 400. So in perspective, I only have about 2,000, about 300 to 400 pops. David has 7,000 pops in his collection. All right, let's get back to the video. Let's get back. Now I'm gonna skip forward a few seconds, but just bear with me. Just bear with me here. So let's get back in here and see what David has to say. So we're gonna skip past, hit this a little bit, and we'll start back right here.
Collection continuing to grow from his collection.
Take a look at that for a second. Y'all want to talk about a hobby becoming like out of control? If I had that many pops, my wife would divorce me. Hey, look, she would divorce me if I had that many pops. That is crazy. And like Chase just said, check this out. He doesn't have furniture in his house anymore. Furniture is gone. No more furniture. That this looks like an episode of Hoarders. Okay, that's just what I'm thinking, because I can't imagine the amount of space that many pops would take. And you don't really think about how much space these little guys start to take up until you start to get them on a shelf, right? I mean, when you start to get these guys on a shelf, then you start to understand how much space these things are going to take out. And they can take up a crazy amount of space. Like, I have it figured out to where one shelf is a little over 100 pops. So one shelf should hold like 120 pops. I mean, that's about where you're at on one solid shelf is 120 pops. Jesse Lou, it is good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. He is sitting on pops. He is absolutely sitting on pops. He has given up the ability to live in his house and own pops. Now, I'm showing you for this for two different reasons. One is I'm truly amazed at the size of his collection. I think that it's pretty extraordinary, the amount of pops that he has. I wish that they were displayed better. I think that maybe once he had that many pops, something should have like went off in his brain and said, these are too many. I either need to sell some of them or I need to quit collecting, because at some point it starts to look like an episode of Hoarders, and that could be a problem. I mean, that could seriously be a problem all on its own. And so here, let's play that a little bit more. Play this one a little bit more.
room to his kitchen. All of his pops are still in their packing to keep their value. His most valuable pop is about $600.
Oh my. Did you see that? That is insanity. Insanity. Now, David is the world Guinness book holder for the most amount of Funko Pops, with a little over 7,000. Now, he goes on to say that he buys somewhere between 20 and 30 of these things a week, and that it by the end of this month he'll be at 8,000. So they're then going to change the world record holder at the end of this month to 8,000. And I guess that if you do the math, that anywhere from 20 to 30 a week, he is going to gain roughly every 3 months another 1,000. I'm roughly just throwing that number out there. Now I could be way off. If I'm way off, don't throw a hateful comment over there telling me I'm way off. I'm just way off at this moment. Let's see. Chase says that is insane, brother. That is really insane. Really insane. I wonder he says that he doesn't have any. He says that he knows his entire collection, and that when he walks in the store, he can immediately see the ones that he doesn't have versus the one that he does have. But we all know that with that many pops and the way that they were stacked in there, that there's no way that he would ever know if he has a duplicate or not. Yeah, there's no way that he has any pets. I mean, it looked like an episode of Hoarders. I mean, it was pretty bad. Now, I got one more clip to that I want to show, because I could see that, look, I had to share this with you. I had to share this one with you. I had to share this with you. And if I get a strike, I get a strike, but I'm going to try hard not to. I'm going to try real hard not to on this. Let's see. I'm going to take this one I'm just going to move it forward some. Oh, it's not going to let me move it forward. Hey, let me move this forward. No. All right, here we go. So this is the last clip I'm going to show. Now, they made a sticker that basically just says that I shop where the world record holder shops. So this shop is actually in Tennessee. This look, the store owner, you can't blame him for capitalizing off of this.
Because there's so many genres, whether it's NASCAR, everybody loves TV, everybody loves movies, everybody loves rock and roll. So, I mean, once you see, Freddie Mercury pop from Queen, and you're...
That was a lot of pops, but he has a point, right? I mean, he has a point, and that is that everybody is a fan of something, and that's what Funko preaches, right? Funko preaches that everybody is a fan of something, and that's kind of how you fall into the rabbit hole with Funkos, right? Is that everybody is a fan of something, but everybody's not a fan of everything. And I feel like if you have that many pops, that you've quit collecting them because you were collecting the pops that you wanted to collect, and you started collecting them so that you could have the biggest collection, or so that because you felt like they were going to go up in value. I think that both of those are really horrible reasons to collect pops. And I didn't start collecting pops for that reason, but I quickly found that I could have fell into that category once I found out that they could be worth a little money. But the problem is most of the time, even if they're worth a little money, you have to sell it, right? And being able to sell them sometimes is just not as easy as one would think. Not as easy as selling a comic book nowadays. The comic book world right now is blowing up. But I'll talk about that here in a second. So let's see. Yeah, look, Chase, when he said that his most expensive pop when I first seen this was $600, I almost hit the floor, because I would have assumed the same thing that everybody else here I'm thinking is assumed, and that was that he should have some mega grails, right? Just some mega grails in his collection, and you're not seeing these mega grails in his collection. So look, this is what I want to get to. Collecting pops could quickly become into an episode of Hoarders if you're not careful. When you're collecting these guys, you need to do it in a responsible manner. You need to do it in a way that you're collecting what you want to collect because that's what you were into. Like, I'm into Marvel, I'm into DC, I'm into these things, so I collect these things. I'm into music, so I really like the pop albums. Collect the stuff that you want to collect. That's look and when it starts to become an episode of Hoarders, you have to start evaluating what you're doing. But anyways, I'm getting off that one. So you just watched another live clip from Throwback Thursdays. And let me say how much that I appreciate your time that you spent here with me. And hey, while you're here, don't forget to check out the channel membership. There's a link to it right down in the description. You're gonna get some really cool like emojis that you get to drop into live chats, and this little icon that's gonna go beside your name, and it's gonna change every few months, and then every 6 months, and then every year. Just some really cool perks that come along with the channel membership. So make sure you check that out down in the description. And to see this whole live, I'll throw up a link somewhere in here or over here at this moment, whatever side it is that these links come in at, but I'll throw that up there. So if you want to go back and check out the whole live, I'll throw it up here for you. And don't forget that I go live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, whatever it is Standard Eastern Time means, but every Thursday at 3 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. And let me just say that I truly appreciate your time, and have a good day.